Hello, I'm Danny the Guide, and are you ready for today's London snippet of history? I just watched a movie, thank you Disney Plus channel for coming out, called Pirates of the Caribbean. I do have it on DVD. But it got me thinking about pirates and London. Now, London, in the time frame that the movie is displayed, is the 18th century. And in the 18th century, the British Empire was expanding vastly. It had major ports across the world. The sun never set on the British Empire. And at its epicenter was the richest city in the world, London. London was where everything across the world was being imported to. You had silks from China, spices from India, tea from China, coffee bean. You had ivory from the Ivory Coast, the West Indies. You had abundance of Turkish carpets coming through. It was just a major hive, even ostrich feathers. Now, the sailors who came in on these ships would dock off in the area that we now call the Docklands, where all these products would be imported and exported from. And they would settle there, and it was a hive of activity. Drinking, gambling, partying, womanizing. And of course, they were the most likely suspects for piracy. They were on those ships, they knew where the cargo was, so it would be very easy for them to access it, steal it, and sell it on. These acts of piracy warranted trial and execution. And if you travel down Wapping High Street and find the pub called the Town of Ramsgate, you go down the side steps called the Old Stairs, and you'll hit the banks of the River Thames. Only do this at low tide. And that's because on those banks of the River Thames in that area was Executioner's Dock. It was known for hanging pirates. And they would hang you on a short noose, not long, so that you could do the marshal's dance as you suffocated. They called it the marshal's dance because often the pirates were transported from Marshalsea prison and the marshal was therefore in charge of them. But you were left there for 3 tides to come up and over you, and then your body would be disbanded. But if you were a very notorious pirate who had committed the sins against sins like murder and selling the crown's property, which is all the products coming in from the empire, then you would not only be hung, washed over 3 tides, but you would also be put in a gibbet, usually near Tilbury Point, which was the access point for ships coming into London. And there you would act as a warning to other pirates: do not commit piracy. One of the most notorious criminals and pirates to have been gibbeted was Captain William Kidd. He was a Scottish sailor that ended up settling in New York. And he was asked by the then governor of New York by the end of the 17th century to go and hunt other pirates, being that he was familiar with their ways. He was savage. He hunted them down. He would kill people. He even tortured his crew and killed one of his crew members. It got out of control. He would take money, spoils, and hide them. He notoriously, on his way back to New York in 1699, buried some loot on Gardiner's Island, thinking that he would be saved from execution if he knew its whereabouts. Because you see, Captain William Kidd had been sent out by the nobles and the British Crown to hunt other pirates, but it turned against them in favour. Nevertheless, the governor of New York did not want to be implicated in piracy, and so he captured Captain Kidd in 1699 and in chains handed him over to the English, where he was brought to London and put on trial. By 1701, he was brought down on the 23rd of May to Executioner's Dock, where he was hanged. But the news broke. So he was hanged again, and then gibbeted and put at Tilbury Point, where he would act as a warning to other pirates. But Captain Kidd is one pirate who lives on in myth, legend and history, because if you go down Wapping High Street, you will find a pub named after him. There you have it, a London snippet of history on Wapping pirates and their executions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I really hope to see you in London soon.